We've got live.
Yeah.
Guys, it's Thursday. Yes, it is Thursday. It's been a Monday back in the house. The swearing will be down to a minimum as we're not talking about the Glazers and we don't have Rebel with his F's and his B's and his C's. We're going to keep it very, very PC today. We're going to talk about Rashford breaking Rudy's record. Can he do it? Will he do it? Only time will tell, but we'll see. We've got Tchouameni. He's on the radar. I have a kind of working out reason why. Obviously, he's up for sale now. I think they're trying to do other things. And Todibo is on the radar. Centre back. We all know Maguire does need to leave. And Maguire is looking for a younger one. And obviously, we've got our defensive coach in the house on Monday who's going to give us the rundown. So, guys, it's the Thursday night agenda. Let's get the show on the road. Good evening, Mr. Juma. How we doing, sir?
Yeah, very good, man. Very good. Building up again, another day closer to Premier League war. And I mean war this season. I think we got a good opportunity to do something really special. So, yeah, a couple of more friendlies to go, cover this weekend. And then we get into the big things, which is like proper games and proper competitive stuff, you know. And I'm glad. I feel like I'm in a good position right now to sort of be boastful and to be confident and to really sort of be enthusiastic about what we're going to see over the next few months with our team. It's been a year of Ten Hag, and I'm just buzzing about what we're going to experience over the next year or the next season. I think it's going to be very special. How are you feeling, Mr. B?
I've day. I know last season you were positive. I know, but I am really sensing. I mean, the window's not finished. You obviously look. I don't look at other teams' results and how they play. I just don't care, to be fair.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're saying that now, you're calling it early. I mean, look, we'll have to do a show next week where we'll discuss where we think we'll finish and stuff like that. But that's a lot of positivity, boy. That's a lot of positive. Defensively, I think we're going to be on point this season. To be fair, I just look at preseason and I'm hearing all these results, and it's 4-3s and 5-4s. All right, we're not scoring, granted, but we're not conceding goals either. So, I think defensively we're going to be all right. To be fair,
we've both got sons, Mr. B. We've both got young sons as well, and there was a time when, like, we used to teach our son to ride a bicycle. And initially, we would put on stabilizers, you know, let them go out there and say, okay. But you get so much joy when they first learn how to ride a bicycle properly. And my sister filmed her son doing hers, and the joy, oh my God, yes, and they're going around like, yeah. And that's the kind of how I feel about this team right now. We've let the stabilizers off, we've had that season, and we're now going to let them push them out there and say, you ride on your own, okay? And you enjoy it. Let just enjoy it at the moment. It's a special moment. You get, as fans, we get proud watching our team do special things. And I think this is a bike riding experience for us with a new team, with a new challenge ahead of us. I'm really, really excited, bro.
oh wow! All right, see if anybody else in the chat's excited.
Yeah, so we've got Lucifer and Morningstar. You're the first one here. Big up to you. Hope you're doing well. It says, good evening, everybody. Bath Time's here. Bath Time, I'll see you tomorrow night. There's a date. I've got a date with Bath Time tomorrow night, guys. Make sure you tune in for that. And DK Wilson saying, afternoon, fellas. Evening to you guys. Obviously, we said afternoon because it's all the way in Dallas or in Texas, aren't you, DK? RJ's in the house as well. Big up, everyone. The fireside. Hope you're doing well. Juma's slimmed down. No, I haven't. Not quite. Still a fat mess. Ramos signs a 5-year deal, which is hopefully going to go through. Emma's in the house. Is he comparing fatherhood to watching football? Yes, I am, Emma. Yes, I am. You get proud moments. King Dino, how you doing, man? Good evening, lads. He's saying, bath time saying, my dad was proper dramatic when he took the stabilizers off my bike. There you go. So you know how your dad was feeling, and we know as fathers, you know, how it feels to see your son go out there and, do things on his own and, manage things for himself, situations. And you sit back and enjoy all that hard work you put into all that investment. City irritate the crap out of me, says RJ. They are bloody good, aren't they? Anyway, Mr. B, over to you. What we got on the menu today, Mr. B? I did say to start the show, but yeah, I like the topics. I hope you guys like them too.
We're gonna start with Rashford. Obviously, you guys know he's my guy. But he's actually started talking the talk. When he talked about his contract, we did have a discussion a few months ago about whether or not he can break the record. He's on 1-2-3. Rooney's record is what, 2-5-3. So he's 5 years away minimum. I'd say that makes it 30 a season. So he's put himself under a lot of pressure. 300 and whatever K a week. Van Gaal came out and said that he expects him to score more goals than he did last season. So is he talking the talk or is he just chatting shit?
Well, Pat Lawless is saying here, he says Rashford is a legend and he will be if he becomes top goal scorer. RJ is saying Ten Hag and Benny McCarthy and Ramos as well. Maybe Ramos will take some goals away from him. Who knows? DK saying Austin, my guys. Oh, Austin, capital Texas. My dad never put me on trainers. First ride, forgot how to brake. Rode trees. So there you go. Hopefully we don't have that sort of season. Alex Taylor, Roland deal done, and United plan on unveiling him at the weekend. Big up Zone Media House as well. Mr. B, so Rashford, where I've read it is different. Rashford has revealed how Wayne Rooney is willing him on to break the record. So Rooney obviously tops the scorers charts with 2-5-3 and having recently signed a new 5-year contract. 25-year-old Rashford looks good in good position to overhaul the tally. He scored 30 goals last season, which is the most prolific season since he's been there. And he's saw him move to 123 goals and looks set to score many more with Ten Hag, unlocking his full potential. Asked by Gary Neville on the overlap in partnership with Sky Bet whether he can surpass the record, he said, hopefully I will. He said, you never know what's going to happen, but I'm all about scoring goals and trying to make assists. There's definitely a chance it can happen. I spoke to Wazza about it and he wants me to do it. He said it would be good for me to do it as I've grown up at the club. Hopefully I can get the opportunity to make it happen. After such a prolific season last season, Rashford believes he could hit 40 goals if he stays fit this coming season. Should I repeat that? 40 goals. I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, just for chat, I like that. I like to hear that. Rooney's egging him on. What Rooney arrived there, 17 or 18 years old, did he? When did he come?
18.
So he came
16, 2 years. Yes, 18. Okay. 18.
And like Rooney, I mean, Rashford's not an out-and-out striker. Rooney ended up playing in Rashford's position and all across the line. So it's great that, we look at players like Dennis Law and Ruud van Nistelrooy we've had over the years. It's a player like Bobby Charlton, who was the previous top goal scorer, who wasn't a striker. And now Rooney, who is a kind of striker, but played all over the place. And now Rashford's on the cusp of maybe taking that goal record. So, it's quality, isn't it? And I think Rashford at 25 years old, that is something he should be setting his target for. And he said he wants 40 goals this season. So, Mr. B, you must be excited to hear that because last season was his best season to date.
I would take 25. Why is there an echo? I would take 25. I'm not going to be greedy and take 30, but if he hits 40 goals next season, boy. Then yeah, that puts us on the target to win something if he's hitting 40. Obviously, it would be great if it's not just 40 on his own. We do need the rest of the team to chip in. Anthony, Sancho, Bruno, obviously Højlund now that the deal's done. My question to you, just a slightly off topic about Højlund. Why are we unveiling him on Saturday? Why don't we just have him? We don't need to see him. We just put him in kit. Why does he need the big photo opportunity?
70 million reasons why I can give you.
Yeah, but we need him to be playing.
Won't he be playing against going to Ireland to play? Maybe
we don't know. I bet you don't. I bet you don't play none of the games and just has a week's training and comes on a sub against Wolves the last 20 minutes.
Okay. Well, if Rashford's talking about 40 goals with Ramos coming in, then that's going to. Sometimes you need two strikers or two forwards to be in competition for goals, don't you, in the club? I'm sure you have that at your club where you're saying to your man, your top goal scorer at the moment, can you catch him? Try to encourage that sort of motivation. Bath time's saying here, I can't trust Rashford after Europa League final, and he didn't do much in the FA Cup final either.
That's what. So that's so. Also, all of the goals he scored, and you don't trust him for 2 games. Okay. He'll say no. Granted, there were 2 big games, but Okay.
And King Dino saying Rashford is quality. I think we all agree that. Now, there's a couple of comments coming now, which I think are crucial. RJ saying Marcus will have an amazing season this season, so he's down with it. King Dino saying my son came off his bike and broke his arm on Friday. I'm so sorry to hear that. Hopefully, that's not the same analogy with Man United this season. Rashford's header against West Ham and Leeds still fills me with goosebumps.
Yeah, I do love a header.
His array, he added headers to his finishing attributes this season. That delighted me as well. I think because of that, that made him an better all-round player. This is a guy who used to say, right, he's got pace, play him in behind, and his goals were kind of similar, coming off the left, running into space behind the centre of their defence and getting in on goal, touch, and slotting it away. Now he's scoring headers. So he's added to his array of goals, his variety of goals, and that's brilliant. And RJ, again, is saying, love a headed goal. Man, yeah, most certainly. 26 goals, says UK Strange. He's going to get this season as well. Marcus hitting 40 would be madness, says DK. As in, what is not impossible madness or just excitement madness? I'm not sure. Haaland taking pressure off Rashford. That's dangerous for all rivals. That's a good point. They're going to be unraveling him on Saturday to try to stop organised protests at the game.
Oh,
okay. UK Strange is going to the game, by the way. Hope you enjoy it. Give us a little vlog if you don't mind as well, UK Strange. Love Haaland signing, man. For F's sake. Yeah, he's excited. RJ's excited at the moment, isn't he? Haaland plus Greenwood is the future, says Box. We don't know. It could well be. I think Bruno gets 10 goals and 30 assists. And Mount like that. You never know.
Can you imagine if he got 30 assists in a season?
I think, was it 20 odd is a record in the Premier League?
Jesus.
Emma saying here, based on Rashford's other season, he either scores the same as last season or a bit more as well. Question. Big up OMONDI and Mr. B. Question. Lost the bet and kissed my Arsenal. Kissed the Arsenal. My question is, would Mr. B do the same? All right, I kissed the badge. Yeah, I kissed the badge when we lost the bet.
No, don't be stupid.
Do that, yeah.
No, I'm not getting that. I'm not getting involved. If you're not offering me money, I'm not interested. I ain't kissing nobody's badge.
Okay, couple more here. The protests, we were talking about protests. There will be protests at the home games if the leeches are still attached to the club. Bath Time saying Rashford's performance in the Europa League final was the worst performance by any United I've seen in the final. It was a total disgrace, he's saying there.
Okay.
Bath Time, I want you to defend your point. I'm going to be grilling you about this tomorrow for Mr. B, because Mr. B is not happy with you. Now imagine what Ten Hag and Benny can get out of Haaland. It's frightening. So yeah, do we need an extra striker when we've got Rashford and Haaland who can both be, the guys finishing in dinner? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice to be able to fool the opposition every now and then on Monday. You know what I mean? It would be nice to get an extra one in. It's not going to be the one that I thought was coming in 2 days before the end of the window. But we might get somebody else. We might get somebody else in. But if not, then I have no problem going into the season with that if we can get the other central midfielder.
What's Rashford got to do to up his game? I mean, we've seen him adding headers to his game as well. What about? I always criticize him about decision making. Do you think his decision making has improved?
Yeah, that needs to improve, and he needs to play with his head up more. Yeah, I understand he's a goal scorer and he wants to score goals, but there's times in the box if you play your head up. The way that they play, if he's down the wing, there's always going to be somebody coming. If there's nobody there, fine. But if he's got that chance just to play somebody in so that they've got the open goal, play it, because you know what, that player is not going to forget that. He's not going to forget it, and he will get it back in return. You understand? I think it needs to be I'm not going to say he's selfish. He's a goal scorer, and all goal scorers are selfish. But I think he needs to play with his head, especially if he's got Haaland coming in as well. Look, he won't be breaking on his own now. He's going to have a man. He's going to have somebody right beside him when he's ready to go. So I hope he plays with his. I hope he plays more with his head up.
And I also want to see Rashford, if he wants to improve his game, being a bit more of a fox in the box, like just finishing stuff, being on the end of things, that kind of player, So who can I think of? Like,
do you I understand you want him to more be finish his dinner inside the box, more of a fox in the box. one touch, bam, finish.
Add that to his look. We've seen the heading. He's added a bit of heading, but also just getting on the back post. He's coming from the left, maybe getting on the back post and slotting one home. That sort of thing. But you have to make those runs. I saw a pass by Luke Shaw in one of the friendlies the other day. He passed the ball across the 6-yard box, and no one made that run. Sancho is playing up front, but Sancho obviously hasn't got that about his game to be a striker. But you've seen Haaland doing these things, just getting on the end of things, anticipating things. I want to see Rashford doing that as well.
Do you think you're born with that knack though on Monday? Do you think you're actually born with that? Because I look at listen, I used to hate Gary Lineker, right? As a foot, because I didn't, when I was young, I used to think he never did nothing. He only used to score goals. But you see, as you get older, you understand he was deadly.
Yeah.
He anticipating. That's what I'm saying. Do you think it's something that you've got in you, like a striker becomes a striker because or a defender plays in defense because he's got these attributes? Do you think it's something that maybe Rashford just doesn't have in his arsenal?
Yeah, maybe he doesn't have that in his arsenal because he's not being expected to do that. But I think if he wants to become a complete player, he added the head into his game, and he also needs to add that kind of that sort of clinical finishing in the box as well. And that means little bits of movement. So, for example, getting on the end of things, like anticipating things. You taught Gary Lineker. Gary Lineker said he'd make like 10 runs a game, and sometimes you wouldn't end up with nothing. But if he keeps doing it, eventually he's going to get a goal. And it does. You're dragging people out of position. You're making those runs. It's a nightmare for defenders. So I do think Gary Lineker is a great example that I was looking for a box in a box, someone who does all that work off the ball and anticipates things. And Rashford needs to add that to his game. But after I'm saying his defensive work, passing, and being a reliable outlet that can hold up the ball are all the areas Rashford needs to improve to reach the level he's obviously capable of. Really good comment there. Well done, Barfan. I like that.
Oh, I'm obviously capable of. Actually think it was a slight comment, a slight compliment at the end of that. All right, Barfan, we'll take that.
Yeah, that's a good comment. I agree with all those points there where he can improve his game. Boxer saying Rashford needs to improve his mental toughness, consistency. He showed up until February toughness, but regressed back to normal after that. Do you agree with that?
Normal. Back to normal. What's normal, Box?
What about his mental toughness? He's questioning his mental toughness.
No, I just think the players were knackered. I just think that they were absolutely blowing out of their backside towards the end of the season.
Okay, fair enough. Jeffers was a good in Fox in the Box, wasn't he? Bilal saying anti-spin is the best technique in football history. Robin Van, who's that? RVN.
Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Oh God, yeah, Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, he was a killer.
Most of his goals in those areas.
Yeah, but then what did we win with Ruud van Nistelrooy?
Won one league title, I think it was.
It's mad because he made it perfectly clear. He weren't passing to nobody else. He weren't passing, but I'm not sure we need a selfish. Well, look, to say that, let's be honest. I would take Haaland. I'll take Haaland. Do what Van Nistelrooy. I'll shut my mouth on that comment. No, I won't say that.
Yeah, we do know that story about Lineker. Actually, he pooed his pants playing for England one time, and I don't know if there's much footage about that, but the story's been told many times. Alex is saying here, when that went across the face of the goal, I had an R moment for the link between Haaland and Shaw. Okay, yeah. Did you see that in the friendly when Shaw played the ball into that corridor of uncertainty and Sancho and all these other guys just stood there? No one anticipated it. But we know Haaland is the sort of guy who would do that. And that's where Rashford, I think, also needs to improve as well. Good shout, Alex. We're on the same page there. Rashford, sorry, before I come to that, maybe, but he's more like poo in the loo. That's what Andy heard, but you see it for jokes. But time saying Rashford has everything you need to be an elite world-class player, just needs to work harder in defensive duties and use the ball better, as well as not producing 0 out of 10 in a final. All right, another dig there. There is footage actually for the Lineker shitting himself. Can you direct me? I will look for it now that you said that. Well, Emma's staying here. Finally, before we wind up, said that hopefully aren't too long. Dello and Manu is said to be out for the first part of the season. Don't know how long it's supposed to be as well. I think I saw Shaw crosses being overdone. He played with Ronaldo and Cavani, and his assists were around the same as well. RJ saying, I really want them back soon, but it's important we get Amra back now. Charlie is saying, how are we going to afford to get Tchouameni? We're going to come on to that now. When we can't get £25 million player in Amra back, we'd love to see Tchouameni in a United shirt. David is in the house as well. Everyone say hi to David in the comments. Rashford is a winger who doesn't create chances for a striker. I think he will be next to the Ten Hag's chopping block if he doesn't improve that part of his game. Okay, it's quite a shrewd. Liverpool for the Sixers. RJ, UK Strange saying, yeah, video of Gary shit himself on the pitch is dirty. All right. And a couple more. Alex saying, Haaland is like Zlatan Ibrahimovic. The dribbling, the size of him, the eye for goal. He's young and will need a bit of time to cope with our league pace and tenacity for the second ball. HDK Wilson saying, how do you people question Marcus being tough? He played with 3 injuries, and any one of them would have put majority players off the pitch. Yeah, that's what the comments say.
Yeah, I look, everybody knows my thing about Rashford, so I'll leave it there. The proof will be in the pudding, and I'll leave it at that. But boy, obviously, we're being linked with everybody, but we've been linked with obviously Tchouameni, a player who is very, very good, very, 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 very good. I did doubt that Real Madrid wanted to sell him at first, that he was on the bench, but with them feeling the Mbappe vibes and them just spending £115 million on Bellingham, I think they probably have to make a sale. Now, we're not rich, but I'm sure if something becomes available of that style, of that player of that stature becomes available for the price that's being quoted, then I think we could be involved. Well, I'm hearing they just want their money back, which was 60 million.
Okay.
That's to get him off. That's to get him off the wage books. Now, on Monday, I know you like midfielders. What's he bringing to our team? And is this something? Not saying it's going to happen. I mean, I would love us just to gazump Liverpool, to be fair, but it's something that's out there. So talk.
Okay, so Tchouameni, obviously, when he was at Monaco, we were linked with him before that, you know. But he had a choice. He went to Real Madrid, and they're in the transition. I think he would have been sold by going to Real Madrid because he had Modric, Toni Kroos in midfield who were getting on in age, you know, and Casemiro at the time as well, who were all getting on in age. And he thought, okay, I could be part of the new trio of midfielders coming through. And obviously, Camavinga's come as well. Camavinga's ended up playing left back because he's needed in the team in that position. They're a bit short there. Tchouameni's not really got the game time. Because the Uruguayan guy, he's been playing really well in midfield, but he's international. Remember in the World Cup, he scored against England, didn't he? That was he would have. A lot of England fans would know him for that. He's big, he's strong. We've had a good friendly against them. We lost 2-0.
I'm just letting you know the Mammoth pistol's impeccable for the first range.
What I noticed with him, he's big and strong, and just really physicality side of things. He's getting in positions. Mount, I think he sort of really ate Mount up a couple of times physically by just getting there with the ball, strong. You can't move him. That's what he's got, and he's good on the ball as well. He can pop the ball around quite easily. He's intelligent. He can shoot. He knows positional play as well. He's got He's got a lot about him, and he would give us a lot more security as well. He's got the size. You can't doubt that he can't fit into the Premiership. He's got the size. I just don't know about his mentality. I don't know about his character. But I've seen enough for him to say he's a very good player for sure. And if he does come to Man United, I'd be delighted. I would be happy with that because it would make us even more secure in that midfield hub, which is really important, you know. So I'm yes, I would pay 60 million for him if we could raise the money, and I'd be delighted if we get him and we have players like Casemiro, him, Eriksen, Bruno, Mount, Amrabat maybe if he comes in as well, McTominay. That's a strong arse midfield, and midfields usually win Premier Leagues, and we've been bossed a lot in the key games. Arsenal, Man City. So these sort of players would help you in a lot of situations. Remember, we played Brighton. Eriksen was getting moved off the ball. When we played Man City, Eriksen was lost a couple of times. Phil Foden got in front of him to score, and you know, and expose them a little bit like that. Remember when Casemiro went out of the game, we had to bring in Fred, and we had to bring in other players as well who couldn't quite get up to these sort of high standard elite games. You bring in better quality like Tchouameni, we're going to be in a much better position to, react to the sort of excitement I had at the start of this show where I was saying I'm confident about the season. And players like that would make me even more confident, where I'll be going around saying champions and start to chisel. If I go and get that Premier League thing, I will take my chisel and hammer and start chiseling Man United's name into it. If we get players like that into our team. He's a quality, bruv. He's quality, and he'd be a good fit.
Okay, so you're as happy as I am that we are being linked with him. But again, as we reiterate, it's a link. It's gossip. It's got nothing to do with me searching for it. So before anybody gets at me or gets at OMONDI, this is what we're here to do. We're here to talk about the information and the gossip that's out there. Yeah. You want to go for a couple of these?
Yeah, for sure. So Bath Times saying here they are selling him at a discount. Mbappe PayPal, or is that what we say? PayPal, maybe. I give 4% chance of us signing Tchouameni, or you say too many. That's Box. Big up Box. As Ten Hag would turn him into a Madrid player, would regret losing, in my opinion. Would turn him into. I'm not sure you're talking about. Mr. B, you can't get Kane and Tchouameni. Which one are you getting?
I'm not getting Kane anymore.
Box says neither. Karma better for Bilal. I don't know what that means. Lucky if we can afford Amrabat, says Box. I think we do. We've got to sell players, really. RJ saying United love a final marquee type of signing. That's what Mr. B keeps griffing onto. Barca saying I'm not convinced by Amrabat at all, but to be honest, I've only seen Tchouameni once against England, and he was decent. He obviously scored a goal. Surely these Tchouameni links aren't real or real. Can't see Madrid selling him. RJ's laughing. He's having a good old giggle there. 4% is a likelihood, says Box. Again, kids. David Sarr saying, I know that look. I don't know where to go with this.
I'll tell you what it was. I'm going to tell you exactly what it was. My son decided that he wanted to be talking and forgot that I was on the show. So yeah, that was
he got the look.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And now he's done it to Gary Lineker. My dad was so fearsome with a look. I would do a Gary Lineker. Pee my pants or poo. Yeah, that's what you've got, Mr. B. That's what we need these days. That look, that real old school traditional look. Bilal saying too expensive if the efforts stay. Bath Time saying what percentage do you have McTominay leaving at Box? Oh, he's asking Box, not us. Box, what answer that for Bath Time? The parent look. Okay, I'm with you.
Actually, we'll talk about when you go through the messages. We'll talk about the Fred and McTominay situation before we jump on the last one.
Okay, a couple more. I'm going to skip a few. Alex saying if we can get a good Casemiro backup, world-class striker who isn't ancient, 21 is coming. Don't have to beat City, just outpace them against the rest of the teams. There you go. So he's confident. Amrabat, so said David, and Lavia should be United's final two signings to get rid of Donny, Fred, and McTominay. See, there's players that we can get rid of. Michael, how you doing? Says to get Tchouameni, we would have to sell Fred, McTominay, Maguire, and Donny. We can't sell anyone except the kids for 800k at the moment. Amrabat is still waiting for us to raise the 20 mil. And Box is saying here, Modric is 39 next year, and Cruz has postponed his retirement for a further year. Tchouameni is integral, to the Madrid and his future. So that's a good point to say why Madrid might not risk selling him just yet. Last one from Matthew Bassett, always talks a lot of sense. He says Tchouameni would be too expensive, and he would actually want to move to Manchester?
Hey! Don't poo-poo us. Come on now. Do you know what? Well, I saw people talk about Freddie McTominay.
Yeah.
Are either of them actually going to get sold? Because the Galatasaray deal with Fred obviously is fallen through. I'm going to assume they were bidding. They wanted to bid pence to get him over there. So that's fallen through. West Ham probably were the only team that was seriously linked with McTominay. And they bid. They ended up bidding for Maguire. So is it and West Ham have now had the bid for Ward-Prowse turned down, their 30 million final offer. Do you think that there's a chance that they'll maybe come in for McTominay, do you think both of them are going to end up staying?
There's still time to go, isn't there, in the window, Mr. B? I just want to say big up to Andrew Williams and big up to Pat Lawless as well. He loves a bit of hammer bat, he says there. Fred is Barthol's saying here, Fred will go. So because obviously we've offered him out, so it looks like he will go. McTominay might as well go to West Ham over 130 million with 130 million in the bank. Now that would, with that forward going as well, they sold a forward as well, have they? Box is saying Saudi would like Fred as well. So I still think with weeks left, Mr. B, I think we can't be saying it's not done yet. I think these guys are on hold. You know, like when you have a standby flight or something, you're just waiting. Pack your bags, guys, just in case, you know, that sort of thing. You might get the call to go. And I think that's how it's going to be with these guys who are sort of on the cusp of leaving the club. Fred was offered out to Galatasaray. For whatever reason, that's broken down. But his bags are packed. His suitcases are packed. And he is on standby to go. McTominay, I don't think he's completely on standby. I think he's maybe, you know. But other guys on standby could be Maguire because he's not really getting game time. If we get a good bid for him, it's like pack your bags, you know, get your things and go. You know, that's how it is for me. I do think there's a lot of time to go in this window. And as you know, that's why we do final day transfer, last day transfer shows, because so many signings are done on the final day of this transfer season, thing. So we could sell Fred final day of the transfer window and get someone good in at the same time. That's how it goes with transfers. For some reason, I don't know. We'd like to get our business done early, but for some reason, the final transfer day seems to be a lot of business going on where people are like, right, I'm waiting for Fred, waiting for the price to come down. Last day, they're like, right, we need Fred. Let's just go in now and get the deal done. That's how it goes with the market, I believe, anyway. But yeah, I wonder what people in the comments are saying. What do you think, Mr. B?
I just want both of them gone Monday. I just want both of them gone. I mean, as I said, we've only sold, somebody put it in there, we've only sold the 800 grand players. You know, let's sell it. Let's I mean, Henderson is still there. I mean, what's the situation with Henderson? You know, Nottingham Forest wanted him for ages, and now it comes down to obviously the business side of getting the deal done.
Yeah,
and he's still here. I don't understand why he can't be sold. Didn't they have a price set already?
Well, Alanga got sold for 17 million to Forest. Was it is Forest the team that's interested in Henderson?
Yeah,
is that right?
yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe they're waiting, you know, to see what didn't they got that great Costa Rican keeper. Is he on loan there last season, or did they sign him permanently?
Who's that?
They got a great Costa Rican keeper who used to play for Real Madrid.
Someone. Navas.
Yeah, it's a Navas. Yeah, he was brilliant for them. Yeah, I
don't know if he was on loan. I thought that was only a year loan. To be fair.
All right, if it's a loan, then there you go. Okay, that's why. Okay, so yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's still my thing would say be patient, Mr. B. It's still time to get these transfers over the line, and I think if it does happen, and it's 10 o'clock on the 31st of whatever day it is, or the day before the season, does the window shut when the season starts, or the last 31st?
Nope, still gonna be open.
Okay, all right. So and then the Saudi market's still open until maybe a month or two after August.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, from what I understand.
Oh, good grief! So they're going to be causing more chaos then.
Okay. So McTominay, I'm hoping of keeping McTominay now. He was made captain for the tour, and he can play 6 or 8. And that's from Bath time. Pat Lawless is saying both Scott and Fred's cards are marked. If they survive this season, they will definitely be gone next year. Andrew Williams has just come back from golf, and that's his par. He's got 76 or 6 over par. This is his score. This is his round score.
Is that good?
Well, look, he got par. Well, I don't know if he's got 4, 4, 3, 3. So you got a birdie. You must be pretty good, Andrew Williams. You got a birdie, not a birdie, a par 3. Is that a par 3? You got a par on a par 3, a 9. Maybe went in the sand there, or went in the water. I don't know, but it's a good round for an amateur. Oh yeah, Bath fans just noticed that a 9 and 2 lost balls as well. So there you go. Navas was the guy. Thank you. I knew Matthew Bassett is like an encyclopedia. He got that right. Did Fred get many minutes on the tour, Mr. B?
Fred didn't go. Fred didn't go on the tour. He was at home sorting out personal problems. He didn't kick a ball in the US. He didn't go.
All right, so here's one for you. RJ said, I don't think Forest can buy Henderson yet because of FFP. Remember, they signed 20 players not too long ago. Fred is at Carrington with Bailey. Bailey's another one on standby, just waiting to go as well. And David saying here, Saudi Pro League doesn't close till September. All right, there you go. I thought it was a couple months after. Alex saying, Fred did not travel the team. He stayed and did individual training of fitness. I said sickness because Bath Time said Andrews sick 11 sick Andrews. Last time I did my handicap, I was 20. So we're not here to go. And good luck to Ahmad as well. He's got injured recently. So that's from UK Strange. Big up. UK Strange, I know you're going to the game of the weekend. Pat is going to the game in Ireland. Maybe you can give us a little update or a little video vlog or something. UK Strange, it'd be nice to see you on camera and giving us a little Man United agenda. Big up from the stadium. Thank you.
And finally, talking about bigging up from stadiums and players leaving and wanting to come on Monday. Obviously, you're our defensive guru. Todibo. The picture I saw of him, the only picture I saw of him, he had one big, dirty, unkept afro. And I couldn't find anything to put up with. I've since found one where he looks a bit more respectable. But talk to me, man.
There's no such thing like, there's game changes, doesn't it? And people have sort of positions. So the old school centre back, what used to be like a Steve Bruce or a Neil Ruddock with a broken nose and putting their head in where it hurts and taking balls out of the sky, that kind of thing. It's kind of been replaced by sort of what they call ball playing centre backs. They call them these days. People can bring out the ball from the back, and clearly we've got Onana. We can see how we're trying to go with this. We've got Onana who can distribute the ball, bring the ball out from the back. We've got Martinez who is fantastic on the ball. That's how we're seeing. We're trying to develop that sort of play. So we're talking about this guy who's coming in. He is what I would call a ball-playing centre-back. He was signed by Barcelona from a French team. Don't know who it was, can't remember. But didn't get much game time. But he had good experience there. Now he's at Nice. Nice, nice part of the world. But he's playing for Nice and playing really well. He's starting to develop now. He's 22, maybe. I don't know. He must be around that age. But for me, if you were to type in ball-playing defender or ball-playing centre-back in the dictionary, his afro would show up and his face would be there. Because I just think he's beautiful at the game. Now, imagine Gerard Piqué, for example, the way Gerard Piqué would play. Bring the ball out, composed, may not have the physicality, but works in Spain, works in France, because he's press resistant, he passes the ball out really well, he's a good ball player. I really like him like that. His defensive side of things is he's not going to be coming and slap a man like that, but he's going to pinch the ball, read the game, anticipate things quick as well. And I think it'd be a great move to bring someone like him in, especially because of the system, the way we want to try and play it for the back. He would be a key centre-back with a right foot to sort of play out like that. And him, Martinez, for example, I'm saying Varane, just in case Varane gets injured, him and Martinez, I think he would be over Lindelof, and especially with his ball playing abilities. I think he's a good signing, and it'd be someone to go under the radar because not a lot of people know about him. I've known about him for a long time because I used to have a lot of this fire stick we have today, but years ago, maybe like the last 5 years, I used to watch a lot of Barcelona football, their reserve team football, their B team football, and all that kind of thing. So I used to see him a lot, and he was highly touted. I used to read up about him. I used to have access to a lot of stuff back then, but I don't seem to watch much European football anymore, And that's why I always thought, this guy's going to be wicked. He's going to be the mainstay at Barca, but he never really got a look in. And he's gone to Nice and started to develop physically and get his own confidence by being the main man there. And that's why he's coming on the radar. And that's why I think he suits Man United, because he's got all the abilities to bring the ball out and help us with the way we're trying to develop our our style of football.
See, and that's what you're here for. Just like that, you've given everybody the rundown on Todibo. Is there anything else you want to get off your chest before we depart?
Well, just want to say, UK Strange, I did put the request out there. Anyone going to games this year, if you like, it's Vincent as well, give us a little vlog or something and put it up. We'll put it up on the channel. I mean, and just big up the Man United agenda, just give us a little match report. If you're comfortable doing that sort of thing, be great. So yeah, UK Strange, it'd be great to see if you could do that. Matthew Bassett saying here, Todibo's ex-man at Barcelona, now playing his trade in French League One. Ruddock, not a left back. Ruddock, not a left back. Who said he's a left back? Neil Ruddock? I don't know. Sorry, a bit of confusion there, maybe lost in translation. I would never say he's a left back, would I? He's also the fastest red card in French history from a quick Google search. 9 seconds. That's impressive. Who was it? Was it Vinnie Jones got sent off from kickoff one time? Playing
he went through Steve McMahon. Is that the one we went? Is that the one we went straight through Steve? Was that the?
No, that was the FA Cup
we
final.
didn't get sent off for that. Yeah, he just shut his mouth, didn't he?
It was in the Premier League, wasn't it? Yeah, he kicked someone straight away after a few seconds. I mean, wow. He's got 2 reds last season on Monday. Oh God, that's not looking good.
Okay.
What does that suggest? He's misread part of the tackles and got yellow cards. Are they straight reds? I'm not sure. Boxer saying, how many reds does the back 5 of Raphael, Bailey, Rojo, Martinez, and Heinz have? Yeah, there's a lot of things. As a defender, isn't it? You're always going to be at risk of getting red cards, especially when football's played today. Last man, you took out the last man. You're getting a red, even if you didn't mean it. I've seen people trip over your leg and that running through your hind leg. Their hind leg trip, when you're running back, and they get sent off for that. So it's always going to be hard. Stephanie Griffiths is saying here, 19. Like, big up, Mr. B and Mr. Omondi as well.
Thank you.
Matthew Bassett says, I'll start going to games again when there's, he's doing a rebel when them cretins.
A rebel.
In 107 matches, he has 23 yellow cards and 3 red cards. That sounds like an aggressive player. I don't think he is aggressive. I think he anticipates and pinches the ball, which can be risky. I don't say he's like claps a man. He's definitely not that sort of player. I think maybe he's mistiming tackles or trying to pinch things and not getting there in time or whatever. So maybe David's saying something funny here. There's no more Titus Brambles or Frank Sinclairs in football. The era of Laurent Blanc types of centre back, no physicality, just playing ball. That's a good point. I mean, do you remember Titus Bramble and Frank Sinclair?
Oh, they were shit. Titus Bramble.
You got to be accountable. Frank Sinclair was like, he was just all face, wasn't he? Just
God.
Oh my God. Bath time. Remember Davis, who's appeared on the show? Davis played against Newcastle for it was Yeading, our local team. Yeading got through to the January round of FA Cup, but they played against Boonsong. Davis is strong. Like, Davis is known as the claw, which means he claws people in their face. He's strong. He puts his elbows out. He's physical like that. And he, to this day, he said he came up against Boonsong, and he's strong. So it's like, you think Davis is one of the strongest players I know. He said he went like that, bam. It was like hitting a brick wall. He's like, what the fuck is that? Put his hand like that, or tried to elbow him or something. And he's like, Boonsong, wow. He said that guy's like, boom, like RoboCop just coming after you. Amazing. Couple Sylvan Distan, the part-time postman, says Andrew Williams. He was pretty good, wasn't he? He was a good centre back. Bunsong, Bassong, yeah, good players. Do you remember Todibo West? He was
that one with the Platts.
Yeah, and Basil Bowley. He done a headbutt, didn't he? He headbutted someone. Who was it now? Does anyone remember Basil Bowley from Marseille headbutting someone? Maybe it's a Man United player, and in a game or something like that. Maybe can someone remind me? Basil Bowley. Who did he headbutt? Like, was famously headbutt someone? Maybe it's an English player. I'm not sure, but he was a nutter and a tough guy as well. You need to be that to be a footballer, don't you? Especially a centre back back in the day. William Prunier. I can't remember who that is. I'm not sure. Andrew Williams again is saying he was knocking off a woman near where he lived. He told her he was a postman, and this is Silver Distant. Was with her for years. Oh no! Sylvan, come on! Oh, God. He always delivers. Yeah, my gosh. He doesn't remember Basil Bowley. He remembers Basil Brush and Stephanie Griffiths. Thank you. Carla Turi did something similar with a used car salesman alibi. Oh no!
Oh, damn, man. Listen, look, let's not. I know where these conversations go. We just leave them. We just leave them.
Does anyone know about Basil Bowley? Who did he headbutt? He headbutted someone famously. Maybe it was an English team he was playing against, Basil Bowley. Not sure. But yeah, Fashanu, remember he elbowed Gary Mabbott, shattered his...
Oh, yeah, his eye socket. Yeah, he did that on purpose as well, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he did that. Yeah, he did that on purpose.
Oh, here we go. So box saying William Prunier, Cantona's mate, got him a loan move under Fergie, played 2 games and quickly sent back to France. Sounds like so okay. Basil Bowley played for Marseille and Rangers, is all he knows. All right, maybe someone will come up with that. Wimbledon were filthy, yeah. Football's changed a lot. You watch games from those times, it's like horrific. It should be X-rated.
Different, and that's why United winning the treble in that era.
Yeah,
I don't care. That's when man were allowed to tackle. Now you can't even blow on a man without him falling down on the floor and rolling, and the opposition getting a yellow card. So now look, we will always have the best one. I think. Look, one day we're going to leave the show like that.
Sorry, before you do, Mr. B. All right, I'm just putting up. Who's your definition of a hard man, like a proper hard man?
What, as in who plays football now in this generation or played football before?
Brian Robson.
Brian Robson. Yeah.
Okay, guys, in the comments quickly. Who's a hard man? I'm going to say Mick Harford. For me, he was fearsome. He was an absolute nightmare. Boxer saying Stuart Pearce. We've got David saying Gravison as well. Hard men, guys. Any of them, you know? Stam, 6, maybe. Keno there. Vinnie Jones. Roy Keane, Stam as well.
See, the thing is, I don't think Jones was a hard man. I just think he was a thug. Okay. I just think he was a thug. I look at, you say hard men in football, then you're looking at, they need to have some sort of ability. Yeah. You know, I mean, you look at Graham Souness, he could play. All right, he could give it out, but Graham Souness could play. As much as he talks a lot of shit now, he could kick ball, he could play ball. You know, so I would rather they had ability as well, to be fair.
Yeah. Okay, there's great names coming out. Mark Hughes is a good one. I think he was magnificent. Such a tough guy. Craig Bellamy, he's one who would wind you up. I don't know if he's that hard. No, I wouldn't be scared of him. Chopper Harris, that's taking it way back, isn't it? The Arsenal player that took a guy on trying to rob Ozil with a knife. It was left-sided guy, wasn't it?
Did his name begin with
left-sided guy, left back.
Did his name begin with yeah, I know who you're talking about, the mad one. Yeah, I know that video, innit? That video that went.
Yeah. Baldway Rooney, says UKJ. Lord Davis, or Paul Davis, who broke the jaw of Southampton player in the tunnel, didn't he? Adams, maybe. Jack Charlton, Joey Barton, saying here. Here we go. Klasnovic. That was the Arsenal player who was backed up. Guy Duncan Ferguson, and we've got Tommy Smith. Here we go.
Klasnic. Yeah, there you go. Guys, right. Look.
That's it.
If anybody watching after the show finds out who Bolly headbutted, could you leave it in the comments for a Monday, please? We will be back tomorrow. We're doubling up. We've got a double preview tomorrow. On Monday we'll be hosting.
In the house.
Yeah, on Monday we'll be hosting with Bath Time tomorrow. So keep the politics out of it, please. Bath Time, talk strictly football, please. Deeply appreciated. I will be on at 10 o'clock for the takeaway with a Chelsea fan, a Tottenham fan, and
that's it. Sorry. You talk about hard men, and that's how I rate Bezzaboli. He headbutted Pierce. Pierce did nothing. Pierce didn't do nothing about it. Thank you. I forgot that. That's the one, Box. Thank you. Pierce was a hard man to me, and I was like, when I saw Bezzaboli, like, bam! And Pierce done nothing. I was like, oh my God, Bezzaboli, you are the hardest guy in football. You know, wow, yeah. Anyway, enough about that.
There you go. See, what was I saying? Yeah, I did talk about you and thinking. Look.
You're doing your 10 o'clock show.
Yeah, we've got the 10 o'clock. We've got, say again?
Any special guests?
No, just me, man. No, not really. We've got an Arsenal fan. Obviously, Anthony Herbert's going to be on tomorrow. I'm going to light him up about his goalie situation. How great his goalie was, and the fact that Arteta thinks his goalie's a load of shit. That's why he wants him replaced.
By the way, talking about Ramsdale, he came. I heard today that he's supporting homophobia in football. He said his brother's gay, and he's afraid about his brother turning up at games because his brother being games and all the abuse that he might get. So he's spoken out about that today. Now, just talk about Ramsdale. His name come up. I saw an article about him today. with that.
Okay. Well, fair play to him and his brother.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We've got our Spurs Don P's on as well.
Oh,
So,
good. I like Monkey.
Yeah, I'll
Right,
talk to him about Spurs.
Check him out. He's
Yeah,
funny.
he's we'll talk to him about Spurs. So yeah, look, it's gonna be a good weekend. Obviously, we got the watch along coming. We won't be doing anything Saturday, but we will have a watch along and a double review, I suppose, at some stage on Sunday. So guys, look, hit the notification bell. If you are still here, there's 27 of you watching. I think I'm on 21 or 22 likes. Solo's not in the house at the moment, but he will be tuning in later on. So guys, let's get those likes up to 30 before we disappear. OMONDI, thank you.
Guys, love the jokes and the bants tonight. I will read the comments, laughing. Great stuff. Keep it up. Yeah.
And sometimes I just look away because when they get started, I think, oh no. I just have to leave. I leave you guys too. You have your own conversations that go off somewhere completely different. I look at them and think, where did that come from? Then you have to scroll up and say, it was bath time or it was box. That started all of that. Yeah, started all of that. So yeah, look, guys, thanks for watching. We will be back tomorrow. We are The Agenda. We are out.